Anglers often wonder what things like sonar ping, trolling motors, and other sounds from the boat actually sound like under the water. Today you're going to get to hear for yourself. We will cover what it sounds like moving around on the deck of the boat, lids closing, talking, trolling motor sounds, and sonar ping, both with the underwater mic near the transducer and from the shoreline. Some really interesting stuff that just leads to even more questions. Well, let's drop the hydrophone into the water and get started. But first off, this is me just standing on the boat deck moving it, and you can hear the creaking. You can hear all the boat deck movements. Now granted, this is not some high dollar fancy boat, but still you can hear the creaking. Okay, this is going to be the forward graph turning on, so we're listening for the sonar. That's pretty loud. And the microphone is down about, I don't know, about 3 feet or so. Okay, I'm going to drop it down to about 10 feet. That's interesting. It actually is louder the deeper that I went down, which would make sense if it's pinging down. Okay, I'm going to go down a little deeper. That is incredibly loud. Okay, interesting. I'm going to go back now and turn on the second graph, like if I had the bow and the console going. Holy cow, that is crazy. That is a lot of racket, and the console graph is scanning down right now. Let me go ahead and turn it on side imaging and see if there's a change. Wow, that sounds the same, but that is just an incredible amount of racket going down into the water. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and test just a locker lid closing. Okay, that's with the microphone down a long ways. Let me go ahead and bring it up. Okay, now the microphone is about 3 feet down. Okay, the microphone is about that 3-foot position. Now we're going to compare how you hear my voice with the microphone out of the water. And then this is, can you hear my voice with the hydrophone under the water? How much of that sound is reflecting off of the water and coming back up? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Test 1, 2. Can you hear me? Okay, we're doing some more testing here off of my dock now. We're going to run the boat with the trolling motor and the graphs out a distance into the bay to maybe simulate what it's like as we're fishing down the shoreline. And then we've got bass up along the shoreline. When we did the graph test yesterday, we were just right there on the boat. So we heard that cone at different depths from the sonar ping. But I want to test it from a distance. So I've got my son here with me today for Father's Day weekend, which is a huge blessing, and he's going to be going kind of back and forth in the boat, so you may see him go by. So let's go ahead and get started. And first thing we're going to do is have the trolling motor on steady at 30%. Okay, from here that's pretty quiet with the boat. You'll see it go by about in the middle of the bay, so that's on 30%. You may hear the Ultruck's head turn some. Okay, run it up to 50%. Okay, pulse it on and off at 50%. Okay, and then leave it run. And as you can see the distance of the boat, and at 50% we can start to hear it. Okay, go ahead and run it up to 70%. Okay, we can very clearly hear it. Go ahead and pulse it on and off. And now go ahead and turn on the bow graph. So he's going to turn the bow graph on. Okay, maybe we can very slightly hear it, but not a whole lot, not like when we were there right under the cone. Okay, go ahead and leave the bow graph on and turn the console graph on. And neither one of these are forward facing, these are just down imaging and side imaging. And as you can see in the corner there where the boat's at, so the boat is probably about 35 feet away, and we can definitely hear the console graph for sure. Okay, you can go ahead and turn the graphs off. All right, super interesting comparison between when the microphone is right up near the boat, or maybe you're over the top of fish, and then when it is a farther distance, about 35 or so feet out from where the microphone is at. Some interesting information there to be aware of as you are out there fishing, and I can't wait to keep testing different lures. Some more of those should be out real soon. And hey, if you want to watch a video that goes over the chatterbait sounds, one of the lures I did get to test so far, and what different chatterbaits and the thunder cricket really sound like underwater, go ahead and check this one out right here. And make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.